It's probably good. I should probably open it up. Ooh, you know what I definitely do need to do? I need to hit record.
Yeah.
I'd have been mad at myself. All right, we're live. Well, here we are. This is chapter 35 of the DC Alliance podcast. My name is Greg, the Bad Daddy 52, and with me, as always, my homeboy Travis. How you doing, brother?
Pretty good, Greg. Can't really complain. Was a little busy earlier, but managed to managed to get everything done. Watch Batwoman, and after this podcast, I'm going to study a little bit for a test tomorrow. So, yeah, fun times all around. But the DCCW is back. There's an awesome trailer we got to talk about, and some more other DC goodies. So I'm just excited to start. If I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, man. It's been a kind of a crazy Monday for me. It's been really short. The day's gone by really, really fast. So, a lot of stuff happening in the last couple of weeks, and just trying to move forward. And I'm ready to talk about some DC stuff, man. I'm sorry I
Well,
missed last week, but
you were looking for Kate Kane. That's what
that's
we
what it
told
was.
the
Yep.
audience, and clearly you didn't find her in the second episode either. So it wasn't like successful, but gotta give you props for trying.
Yeah, gotta try. So, yeah, we got a little bit of DC news to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about the Batwoman tonight. We're going to watch a little trailer, which is going to be pretty fun because I'm excited about this Superman and Lois show after the trailer, and we'll talk about it as we go. But that's about it, man. Not a whole lot going on other than that. So before we get into it, you want to go ahead and we'll start plugging the network and tell everybody where we're about and what we're from.
Go give it to her, sir.
All right. We are part of the Geek Ultimate Alliance Network, where you can find shows 7 days a week. We have World's Finest True Believers, covering comic book story arcs, DC Alliance podcast with me and Mr. Bone here, covering everything DC. There's the Marvel Alliance podcast, which is our counterpart, Chris and Travis, and they're covering everything Marvel. Star Wars Alliance, likewise, covering everything Star Wars, and a Ranger Alliance podcast, covering everything Rangers. We also have Super Civil Servants podcast, which goes live Friday evenings. Audio drops for that Saturday usually. Slice of Film, which is Katie covering some films. Pretty fun. Deep dive into a lot of films. There is Weird Science DC and Marvel Comics, which is premieres on the weekends, where Jim's covering a couple different comic books going on in the world right now as it's happening. And then superhero discussions with me and Mr. Bone here again on Fridays. We're covering Batman the Animated Series right now, which is a really fun show. It's gotten better. You didn't lie to me. It's gotten better. So yeah,
Robin's Reckoning is next
this week. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun.
I'm excited. Yeah. So,
and I'm not sure when I'm going to do it exactly, but I am going to just cut it off for a second and throw you in the Mask of the Phantasm, because I feel like people say when you should watch it in continuity, but I feel like you should probably watch it before the first season of Batman the Animated Series is over. So that's kind of where I
You're right.
think you should
freeze up,
but it's summer before first season ends.
Okay, I think you might froze up there for a second. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, I'm down to watch it. I think I asked a few weeks ago if somebody wanted to do a Mask of the Phantasm recording, and
you asked it like a month ago.
Yeah, you told me you were like, just wait a minute, let's get into the series and then watch it.
Okay, good. That's why it was intended to, right? Because you got a season or two, or maybe just one before. I think it was just one, and then it was successful. They're like, yeah, we need to keep going with this. Let's put this out. It was like a direct to videos type thing, and they were like, no, we want to make it feature. We'll talk about that when we get to it. Yeah,
I hear. And we're gonna be talking about it this week, so it'll be good stuff. So, but let's finish the plug up here. I think it was all the shows. We're also an ad-supported network, so there will be a couple of ads in every show. We also have a Patreon account with 2 tiers. There's a $1 tier, which we like to call a tip jar. It's a thank you very much. It helps us keep the lights going, helps keep everything running for us. And then we have a $5 tier, which is we really appreciate us. We also have ad-free and early episodes for the $5 Patreon tiers. And there are some exclusive episodes just for those $5 patrons. So check it out. Some really fun stuff.
And just to tag you in there, on Monday nights, this show goes live on YouTube on the Geekverse channel. On Tuesday nights, Marvel Alliance goes live on the Geekverse channel. And on Thursdays, I think around 5 to 5:30 Eastern Time, Star Wars Alliance goes live every second week. So yeah, on the Geekverse channel on YouTube, you can find that there. Just look up Geekverse on YouTube. Don't go for the weird purple symbol of Geekverse. I'm pretty sure. I know Snell them can't be pleased that like there's another Geekverse that's essentially copied their name. I think it's a little tiny bit different, but Green Geekverse. Go to that one on YouTube, subscribe, and you'll get these three shows live, which is fun. I always love doing them live because you get some people coming into the chat and I would get an extra topic or two or something.
Oh yeah, and I actually just tweeted out the link as you were saying there, right there. So if you are on Twitter and right there,
Synergy.
there you go. So, but all right, man. Well, as always, we'll just get started with the news, and I always toss the mic to you. Let's talk some news.
Yeah, I guess there's no way of going forward. I guess we'll start with the latest thing, but which is Titans. We have Barbara Gordon casting for Titans, which really excited me. What did you think about this, Greg?
I don't know anything about the actress who plays the role. I looked up this
She
art.
was a amputee. I'm pretty sure she's an amputee. She was in a couple other things. She acts, she sings.
Apparently, she's very talented. Yeah.
Yes, and I don't know her from anything. Savannah Welch is her name, but I'm just excited to cast her. This will be post Killing Joke. Like she'll be paralyzed and police chief, police commissioner. But I also think that if any of our listeners watched Arrow, I mean, in season 4 they put a implant in Felicity's spine to allow her to walk. So I don't think that just seeing her as this is 100% where else she'll be the entire time. There's a very real possibility that at some point they might be able to get her back on her feet, and I would love to see if we ever get her back in the costume.
Yeah,
very interesting. Like you don't know because we have the Alfred character. Alfred. I mean, I call him Alfred just for badness now, but we have Bruce that we don't really see suit up. We've seen him in season 1 in that suit, but there's no way just from looking at him that the guy who plays him, Jorah Mormont,
is getting in the suit. Yeah,
was getting in the suit and looking like that anyway. So,
right.
I'll be interested to see. I would love to see her suit up, and I'm really interested in her relationship with Dick and her relationship with Jason and just how it all comes about. But I wonder, see, casting her and having Jason turn into the Red Hood, that really makes me think we could possibly see a Joker in this, if a flashback or maybe just a laugh, Mark Hamill laugh. But
well, haven't we somewhat seen a Joker? Wasn't there like
not that dead thing?
Okay,
No.
I'm just asking. I know it wasn't a huge scene, but like they had a presence of the Joker, right?
No.
No?
I'm going to acknowledge that. Batman killed him in this fake dream world.
I got you.
So I can't really call that anything.
I hear.
I just really excited. I wonder what we'll see, and the relationships between her and the two Robins. Well, not the two Robins anymore, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Really interested to see all that, and even if we get some scenes with her and Bruce.
Oh yeah, well, as always, I'm sure the whatever they do for costume design is going to be fantastic. Or whatever, anything they put anybody in.
We don't know.
Show.
I don't know. We don't see her from where it is right now. We're not going to see her in the Batgirl costume, but like I said, they did it to Felicity in Arrow. I really don't see how it's not possible to do it here. Exactly. At some point when the threat is dire enough and you need all hands on deck kind of deal. So who knows? Maybe we'll see that in the future. But I'm just excited for the character to be added. And Titans continues to expand its universe. And I'm hoping, like I said, fingers crossed, is a great season this season because I want more Titans. There's so much potential for that show. It's just that they didn't stick the landings of the first 2 seasons. But I just hope that this season is what I think it could very well be.
Well, I'm never worried about the actual season for Titans because the season's always great. Like I said, I love it. I mean, of course, it has its flaws. Every show does, but it's just the landing, man. If they stuck the landing on the first 2 seasons, I think people would be a lot more confident going forward with Titans. But
well, yeah, that's pretty much. But that's a sign of a good show and an average show, Greg.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. This Welch, she's trying to look at some stuff she was in because, like I said, I don't know anything she's from. She was on the History Channel drama 6. She played a Marine, suffered amputation in combat. Curricular came films Boyhood and Tree of Life. So she's she's become a spokesperson for the disability community in the acting community. Well, it's very good.
Always great to see.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see it. Do we know when we're gonna get Titans?
Not sure yet. COVID
Okay.
is kind of through miss and everything, but sometime in 2021, I would assume, Greg.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm hoping. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. What's next?
Well, I guess we'll talk a little bit about this the Wonder Woman box office before we take a break and get into some DCCW stuff.
Good idea.
Uh, just kind of wait for these to load here. Okay. Uh, Wonder Woman 1984, the weekend made 1.6 million, estimated, 2013 screens, averaged $794. Weekend 5 is a negative 38.4% change. So
Average what? Say that again.
it's 2013 screens averaged $794. So $794 a screening
Okay.
is what they would make. Which clearly, when you factor in, you can barely have less than half
Capacity of theaters
capacity.
and
You're going to get
theaters
that.
open.
You're
Yeah.
going to get those numbers. So,
Yeah.
but weekend 5 is a negative 38.4% change, and 37.7 million is total North America box office.
Well,
And the worldwide box office is it's 113.3 million total overseas in 43 markets. So it's 148 million global.
okay.
So just losing steam, not much. Clearly, uh, my personal opinion, 1/10 of what it would probably have made before COVID ever happened. So
Yeah.
maybe a lesson, not because of, like I said, it's a 6.5 for me, just on a buzz, and man, people that would have went to see this if everything was normal. It's rough sometimes to see these numbers, Greg.
Well, the thing is, like you said, it's not really, you can't really judge it fairly based on the timing in which it came out. Um, is this going to set the standard or set the bar for what these movies are going to
Well,
make? And
Tenet already did.
okay. My thing is if so, if this is the case where we're going to be going forward with movies and they're worried about make this is the only money we're making, what's the other option? Not make the movies?
Well,
Like
it's
that'd
not
be
that
the
you
only
see.
other
This
option,
movie
right?
was no. Well, this movie was made.
This movie's already made. I get that. But I'm
Well,
saying with
no,
movies going forward.
well, when you know, it's all about. Uh, it's just smart finances, Greg. Like if you're not going to
Mhm.
put in 200 million into a movie that you don't know if it's going to make 200 million in this kind of climate,
Right.
whereas if I told you put this 200 million in this movie, I promise you it will make at least 800 million with the potential to be like 1.2 billion. Would
Right.
you put it in? Yes, you would. But
Oh yeah.
you'll see it's completely different. That's why I think eventually you'll get it
Mhm.
back up towards what it was, but I don't know. Maybe some things have changed forever with this industry. So these numbers and these capacities, I think, are going to be more and more as streaming becomes more prevalent. Like I said, sometimes with movies here where I live is different than when it was no different than when it was before COVID.
Mm.
There's been very small numbers at times for a lot of what I've seen.
So if they made it to where they did kind of like they did Mulan, where they released Mulan on Disney Stream, but you had to pay for it, right? Even if you remember, you had to pay to see it. If they had to change it like that to try to compensate some of this money they're losing, would you still pay
Come
to see
again?
the movie? Okay, like just say like they have a couple movies come out like this and it's not producing the numbers they want them to produce. So to compensate for that or try to make up some of those numbers they're trying to make, if you're now instead of it you just being an HBO Max member and seeing it free, you got to pay $5 or $7, you know, to see it. Would you still would that like how badly would that make you upset? Would it bother you? You know what I mean? Well,
No, 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 I
okay,
don't,
okay.
Greg. That's
So don't
exactly
use
what
don't
I'm
use HBO
trying to.
Max as an example. Use use some other streaming service. I'm sorry. Plug in any other streaming service into this mix.
You're like, you got to pay $5 to $7 for you care. Well, not really. If
I get it.
if I could
Soft
get the
spot. I'm
streaming
sorry. Yeah, sorry.
service, I would probably be happy, go lucky, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'll take somebody else's mentality there. If it depends on the price, if I'm being honest with you, Greg, and the property and how
Yeah.
much what it means to me.
Mhm.
So if it's something that I really love, like I'm gonna be completely honest with you. And this is This will go with our Marvel Alliance host. I would pay $30 for Black Widow right now, and I
Yeah,
wouldn't even think twice about it.
yeah.
And same thing goes for I'm going to have to pay something for Zack Snyder's Justice League, or because I've direct messaged the theater chain and they're like, "Yeah, sorry, we don't know what you're talking about. Let's leave us alone."
Oh no.
Uh, so I'm going to have to just buy a VOD somewhere because I won't be able to stream it on HBO Max. So uh, I'm just
I'll figure something out for you, man. We'll
yeah,
figure something out.
oh yeah,
Well, okay. So here's the way I look at it is, even though I have, I'm just using HBO Max as an example. You said just say any streaming service, Netflix. Say Netflix decided that they want to start charging you for their Netflix exclusive movies, but Netflix's movies are in theater, can be in theaters too. Okay, and I'm already going to pay for Netflix. Like I'm already going to have it. But they said, hey, if you give us $15 and you can watch this movie same day as it comes out in theaters, I'd still do it. Like you said, I'd definitely do a Black Widow. I'd pay $30 to do it because that's still less than I'm going to go out to the theater and pay to go see. You know?
the people with the movies got to realize that the theaters, what ruins theaters for people in terms of price is not the movie itself; it's everything that comes with the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
all that stuff is priced astronomically high, and you can't. You're really lucky if they let you bring in your own bottle of water at times.
Oh yeah, you definitely
It's,
can't bring in a bottle of water where I'm at. No
oh
way.
well, here you can bring in. No one's telling me. No one's ever told me. I walked in with those giant 1 liter of smart water,
Oh
and
yeah.
no one's ever said like. And I bought it like at the gas station. Just came on into the theater,
Hmm.
and no one's ever said like you can't take that in with you. I,
I've never tried it actually. To be honest
well,
with you, I think I might try
no,
it.
like I've seen people do that with other things, uh, like potato chips, or
No.
they see you coming in from like with consent with food. But I've done it with bottles of water. I've never had an issue with it, which I like because I just get a large popcorn in, and I'm okay with just that. But
Yeah.
even that large popcorn, I'm getting up close to $20, which is insane,
Hey,
insane.
Nathan's in the chat. What's up,
Oh
Nathan?
wow.
Wow. Yeah. So anyway, just basically what I'm asking. So we knew the numbers coming in for Wonder Woman weren't going to be that big. Do you
No,
think it underperformed from what you? Because I guess we didn't have anything to base it
I can't
off
tell
of.
it. I can't tell it
Yeah.
on because of HBO Max. But even that, like people are always like, I've heard some people say like WB is ahead of the game here, and uh, like everyone like WB is dominating right now
Right.
the movie landscape. I mean, if you're dominating a apocalyptic wasteland, what are you really dominating? Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? There's nothing right now. Is
Yeah.
like so. I need to see some HBO Max numbers, but even still, that's only 5% of the world's population is what's
Right.
in the United States.
Right.
So the fact that this worldwide has made 110 million, yeah, this is not been what they hoped,
Mm-hmm.
but hopefully there'll be some good out of it in terms of more HBO Max subscriptions from this. But I think that this shows. I think people like patting him. You got and Christopher Nolan, who had the exact same kind of experience with Tenet, a little bit more money, but still same sort of thing. That like you got to realize that like right now it's not going to be the same. Things have changed, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't know how far that's changed, but
People
uh,
still want to see these movies, though. We want to
yes.
hear
Well,
these
you can't.
stories,
It's
and
not
we
even
want to
about
see what
that.
you've created.
It's
You
not
know.
even about more than anything. It's just they have these movies already made. Like these are finished. So if you the more you push them back, the more things are going to be stuck on the back burner, and you're going to have these things of like 3 and 4 movies released in one weekend or in a couple weeks span, and it's going to be overload and some stuff you're not going to be able to see. So
Mhm.
that's why I like this simultaneous release.
Yeah. Chris is in the chat room too. What's up, Chris? Yeah. HBO Max only tonight because I'm not gonna lie, man. I that's about all I watch anymore is HBO Max. That's all I ever turn on. And turn it on, and it had the Wonder Woman thing right there. Stream until midnight Pacific Standard Time, and I was like, should I watch it one more time? I didn't. So
See, this is the one drawback to co-hosting a podcast with somebody from America. So they're gonna sit there and stew while you're like, "Oh yeah, watch Wonder Woman for the 11th time."
no,
Even though I
definitely didn't
didn't
watch
like
it
it,
11
even though I
times.
didn't like it, I can
Yeah.
watch it. I watch it 12 times just because I can. Ah, I'm
Yeah.
like, God.
You get more hockey than I do. So There you
Nobody
go.
cares about that in the
There's the
States.
trade-off.
But
uh,
no, yeah, you're right. Let's take a quick break before we get into the Superman and Lois trailer and the Batwoman episode.
Sounds like a plan. All right, folks. Like we said, Ad Supported Network. Just bear with us for a minute. And if you're following us live, just we'll be right back.
It's like we won't even be gone if you're following us on YouTube.
All right, and we're back. So here we
Yeah.
go. I think we're going to talk about the Superman and Lois trailer. And yeah, before even going into it, this is getting back into the DCCW. So I'm starting to dip my toes into back into DCCW. It's been a few years. We broke up a few years ago. It wasn't a brutal breakup. We just kind of went our separate ways. I think maybe it was after Flash, like season 3 or 4. So we just kind of went our separate ways. I watched the crossover, the Crisis crossover, but now I'm ready to dive back into DCCW stuff. And uh, so far, some of the stuff I've seen has been pretty good, and I'm excited for this. What's up? You were chomping at the bit to say something.
Because I just got a smile because a realization came over me.
Oh no, what's that?
It doesn't surprise me that you took some time away from the DCCW as a big time LeBron fan. I can see you when things not going as smoothly as you would hope. I can see you jumping ship and going to something else like, ooh, look at Doom Patrol over here. Gonna try that instead because this is this is doing good again. Hey, Superman Lois, I'm back over here. Woohoo, championships.
Hey,
So just wanted to say that.
promiscuous with my shows, I suppose.
But I couldn't be more excited for this show, Greg. I can't wait for us to watch this trailer. I've watched it a few times, obviously. I've been in a lull. That's not fair to say. Me and Balga have talked about it several times. About the DCCW just not hitting any beats for me anymore. And there was a time where Travis watched everything. There was a time where I wrote in the early days of DC TV Squadcast. I wrote Brent saying, is there any way you guys can do the podcast a day earlier? Because when I listen to it, I'm already 2 Supergirl episodes. That's how immersed I was in this universe.
Yeah.
Like I was
I
asking
remember
Brent,
I used to write into it. I
like
was the same way, man. I was the
asking
same way. I
Brent, I was
watched
like,
everything.
I'm one ahead. Like if you do this a day extra, I know it's really tough for you. They switched the whole schedule around to get everything into the week. It was very early on. Like I want to say 2, 3 was OG for that show, but I've I've flown the flag, waved the flag of DCCW fan for ages. I won't call it the Arrowverse because I just don't. I think that's stupid, and I will always refer to it as DCCW. But I gotta say, I was ever since Arrow's in it, it's been disappointment after disappointment. Where besides the 2 shows that have been fantastic for me in the last couple years are Black Lightning and Supergirl. Okay. And what news did I get about both of them this year?
Oh, they're both going bye-bye.
They're both ending. So frustrating. The Flash, which was at one point, I loved it just as much as Arrow, the first 2 seasons of Flash. And when it was Flash and Arrow, I loved both of them. And Flash continually got worse and worse and worse. Now, there were some, I don't want to say, like, I got some great episodes, even in some bad seasons. I want to say season 4 or season 5 Flash time episode. Like, it's just stuff that you get that you're not expecting. But it's like with Arrow season 4, you got a lot of crap, even though you got a couple good episodes in there, which is not usually the case. But I've been a little bit out. Legends has been letting me down because any powered character that I like really ever gets to use his powers or is written at the show. So it's tough. There's some characters like Ray Palmer going, Brandon Routh that ruined it for me. So I've been a little out. And DCW Batwoman, I really enjoyed the first season. The ending was like, oh yeah, we're ready for the next season, and then bam, everything. So I'm trying to get. This was like a pilot, and that was I heard it on Fans Without Borders. This is like a new pilot, like a new season. So it's but with the same characters. It's kind of a different thing entirely. So very interesting. And then there's this show, Superman and Lois. This was the one that I was like, can't throw away CW yet. Got to see what they're doing here at this one. This is piqued my curiosity. And Greg, boy, oh boy, I was not expecting them to be as good as it was. Now they could be selling us a complete bill of like a false bill of
Very
goods
true.
here,
They could have
making me
showed you all the
think that
best
it's going to be
stuff.
far more
Right.
serious than what it is, and it's going to be
Mhm.
far cooler, and like the aesthetic, everything, the visuals of it was a lot of Man of Steel love for me. It felt like
Yep.
that.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed, because if I get burned another time, they may lose. No, they're not going to lose me forever. But all you need to do is say, "Yeah, we're Arrow season 9 is happening," and yeah, everything's
There
back
you
to
go.
normal for me. So,
Yeah, you're right back on the train.
but
I hear you
this,
picking on me with LeBron being yeah, there you go. Jumping right back on the train of Arrow
oh,
season 9, right?
yeah, tell me
There
what
you
happened
go.
in Legends season
It's
4
your, it's
or
your
Legends
LeBron.
season 3
LeBron.
or Super.
Arrow's
Yeah,
your
okay,
LeBron.
I've watched this entire universe. Don't even
Hey,
get me started.
um,
This crisis, but yeah, this trailer when we watched it is blown
yeah.
away by the quality. I heard a lot of, like, not very often you get, because in my timeline it was pretty much 100% people praising this,
Mhm,
like from every side. Usually you get the Zack Snyder DCU fans that don't like the DCCW. No, I'm not one of them. I love both. Like,
mhm.
loved it. So, but it was like for me, it was universally. All I seen was I didn't see much criticism at all for this trailer.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I haven't looked up anything about this show or this coming up other than the little bit that we've talked about up until now for this because I just kind of wanted to wait until I get something solid to see. Uh, really, really excited for this trailer. I remember when I saw the costume for the first time, I really, really liked the costume. I think they're going to do a great job. You're right; it does have a little different feel to it. The aesthetic of it just looks different. I do get Man of Steel vibes, and for someone who I love the Man of Steel costume, I think that's the Superman costume. This is a good change. I can deal with this. I like this, and I'm excited for it, man. It looks really, really good. That's what I was saying between this and just spoilers. I really enjoyed Batwoman. We're going to talk about that. You know, DCCW is looking up for me.
Let's go.
Let's check it out. All right. Let's see.
There'll be no volume here, listeners. If it is, we can't have the volume up as a minute, so we're just going to tackle a bit better as we're watching it here. And just for some background while he's bringing this up, just it's supposedly they have a 2 hour chunk for the uh, the episode really, and some say it could be 2 episodes. Some say it's a 90-minute episode and a 30-minute special, like behind the scenes type thing.
Okay.
So we'll know for sure. I'd say probably at the start of February.
Yeah.
But if it's 2 hours, it'd be awesome. But even 90 minutes for first pilot, that's
That's
the
pretty
same
solid.
as some movies. Yeah.
Well, we're essentially getting a Superman movie. Which
Yeah, we
if you're
are.
getting an
We
hour and a
are.
half to 2 hours
Well, we don't know exactly how much and what commercials and all that. It could be
that's
like
true.
62 minutes, but
Yeah.
even that, we could, like, it could be. It'll be a story. Like, we'll get something like. I'm really interested. I just play the trailer, Greg. Play the
Gotcha.
trailer.
Here we go. All right.
So we
SoundCloud.
open in
All right.
Smallville, and them being married, of course, and it seems like they're getting fired there too,
Yeah.
which,
Well, that's how it starts out talking
or
about
losing their
no
jobs,
jobs. Yeah.
and then losing their parents, which is my pa can't.
Mhm.
Creators of the Flash, no Arrow love there, just creators of the Flash. Thank
Right.
you.
Yeah.
Didn't start the universe. Flash has been progressively worse every time.
Yep. Hey,
Clark
okay.
Titan to Sam Lane. Pause this. Pause. Go back a
Yep.
second and pause this.
Yep. That's what I wanted to ask you was who that was he's talking to
I
there.
have. Oh, who he's talking to there? That's
Right here.
Sam Lane. That's Sam Lane. That's Lois's father.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
And the kryptonite there, that's pretty interesting. I
mhm.
love like how cool it looks compared to what we've seen so far in Batwoman and Supergirl. I like this kind of stuff far better. It's very interesting.
Mhm. Yep.
And we got some weird ass like
Looks
mech
like
suit.
Master Chief from Halo. Where's he at
Somebody
right
said
here?
that actually. I heard. I
Yeah,
not
okay.
big
There
on
he is.
Halo, but
I'm not either. I just know that, but yeah.
what a weird piece of trivia to know if you haven't played Halo.
Well, I've played it. I'm just not
I
huge in it. You know.
I haven't played it very
Yeah.
often. Maybe one time multiplayer type deal
I
with my
hear.
friends, but I had no idea these characters are. But this kind of reminds me, like I think he belongs in GI Joe, Rise of Cobra, or the other
Yeah. Yeah.
GI Joe, Retaliation, I think,
Mhm.
or whatever. GI Joe, The Rock. I think
The
he's in that one.
Rock. GI Joe starring Dwayne Johnson. That's all
No,
they call
just
it.
GI
GI
Joe
Joe
number two,
starring
The
Dwayne
Rock.
Johnson.
GI Joe
Yeah.
number two, The Rock. Yeah, very interesting little super soldier type thing there.
Yeah.
Superman. Oh, we have a Lois Lane. Lois Lane. Look, pause that for a second, Greg. We have Lana Lang sighting there. That's Lana. Uh, E would get Sloan. Like, come on.
Mhm.
She's out here in Kansas pretending to be Lana Lang. But interesting. She's gonna. I wonder if she's gonna know Clark's secret. I'm pretty sure she is. But he wishes he could get drunk. There we
Yeah.
go. We get the first sight of him flying too. Pretty cool.
It looks pretty good, man. That's what I'm
I
saying. The
love
suit
I
looks
love the
great.
5 o'clock shadow he got going on too for Superman.
Hmm.
Like it just fits him. Pretty cool little super landing too. I love the way that suit looks.
And you see this moment, like obviously he's
We're
telling
gonna
his
have a
kids
lot of
about what's
stuff with
going on.
family. Yes, we're gonna have a lot of
Yeah.
stuff. I'm interested to see if the kids have any powers. And this is a really cool scene where like we don't know who
Well,
Superman is, and he
well, here back
floats on.
here. Is it who's throwing this stuff around? Is it
He's thrown it off people. I think it
he's
just
throwing it
fell
off
on
people? It
somebody.
wasn't
Yeah.
just okay.
No, I think it just fell on somebody, or somebody
Oh,
dove to
okay, I
protect
got you.
somebody when it was going to fell on. He throw
I
it
got
off,
you.
but pretty cool him raising the truck.
Hmm. Proving it to
And
him. You
it's
could
going to
tell he
be
doubt it.
and we got some freeze breath there, which
Yes.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Uh, and I thought it looked really nice. I think this is going to be heavy into the family, like heavy into uh, the kids, and which I'm excited about. And the Superman looks fantastic, Greg. Like the suit
Hmm.
looks great. It looks very much like Justice League. Go watch Justice League Apocalypse War, Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. Superman suit in that is just like, and even in Death and Return of Superman, it looks very similar to what it does here, and
Hmm.
I'm all for it.
Well, you know what it is. I think it's you can change the way the style of the suit, the way the colors, everything else that you want to. It's the material. It's like the
Well, those
fabric, the way it looks. Like
those mega clasps were
I don't mind that.
ridiculous. That was
You
ridiculous.
think it's ridiculous?
No, I don't think the concept is. I just
Okay.
think the way they were in that costume, they were big and ridiculous. They didn't need to
Okay.
be the way
It
they
didn't bother
look.
me. Yeah.
But they've gone to new costume people in the last couple of years,
Hmm.
and their costumes in Titans is fire.
On
Their
point.
costumes in Doom
Yeah.
Patrol, fire. Their
Hmm.
costumes like Stargirl. So
Yeah.
they've gone to a new some like our man's costume looks of the similar material that Superman's costume is made of, like this mesh reflected, like it just looks
That's the thing.
movie level uh, costumes in TV, and I'm all about that.
Hmm. Well, and that's what I mean. That's the style. Like I said, I like for me the Man of Steel suit. That's the suit, but it's that the way the fabric looks like, and it looked like when you saw the flight scene here and the close up of the suit, it had the same kind of look to it. I mean, I think in Man of Steel, it's like Kryptonian writing in the suit. I'm not sure if
Yeah,
they're going with that here, but it looks awesome, man. I'm excited for it. February 23rd, which is a Tuesday, we may have to do like a emergency Wednesday show to cover that. Otherwise,
there's
we're going to have to
already
wait a
been
whole week.
there's already been talks of a point 0.5 to go
Mm,
along with our Monday episode.
I like point fives. They're usually pretty fun. So, but yeah, man, super excited for that. And look, oh, I said, oh look, Travis is in the chat room, and there's Travis right there. This Travis is in the chat room. Gotcha.
Yeah, I was
Hey,
just
yeah,
giving the boys some love.
yep.
So, Greg, I guess we're both super excited for this, and we will be reviewing the season premiere and probably the full season 1 of this show.
Mm.
So, this, like I said, this looks like they put a pretty penny into this, and I'm all about it. So, yeah,
It
can't
doesn't
wait
look
for
like it's associated with the rest of the DCCW.
a lot of people say that, but
Yeah.
I assume it will be. Uh, guess we're jumping into Batwoman season 2, episode 2. But before that, I want to get some of your brief thoughts on the season premiere since you weren't here. You were off looking for Kate King. So,
That's right.
uh, what do you think quickly about, and give me a rating if you can of the episode?
Okay. You got to remember, with me walking into this, the only familiarity I have with this version of Batwoman is the Crisis crossover. Only time I've seen it, never watched an episode, and everything else is the only thing I know about it. So I was kind of lost with some of her background story in that. So walking into this, I know that I'm going to be lost, and I know that I'm going to not know a lot of characters, but I don't know how they're going to handle all that. And I think they did a really good job of handling all that. I feel like I'm going to go back and watch season 1 just because I'm invested in season 2 now, but I feel like I don't have to. I feel like I don't have to go back and watch season 1.
It will be good for some of the other
Oh, I
characters
agree.
to give you
100% agree.
some of the
Yeah.
backstory for the other characters. So if you got a bit of time, maybe like do a one-in-one deal
Mhm.
where you'll watch the newest episode, and then sometime during that week before another new episode comes, you'll knock out one episode that you haven't watched yet.
How many episodes are in the first season? It's not like
20.
okay,
20.
okay. Well,
I'm pretty
I'll
sure
try
they're
to do
on either
another.
HBO Max or Netflix. HBO Max for you, maybe, or
They're on
Netflix.
Netflix right now.
Netflix,
Yeah.
okay.
So, but yeah, but like I said, this is my first experience with her. I love the actress who plays the character. Sorry, I don't know her name, but I thought she did a great job. Like I said, I was kind of lost with story going into it, but it seems like the first episode wasn't had like the story of everything you've seen before kind of in the background and putting something else in the front, which is what I wanted to ask you about because I know you had big issues with this, but I'll finish my kind of overview of it. Um, in the first few minutes, you see her desire to save people. You see that she has the ability to fight. You see that she's desperate. You see that when she first finds a suit, she likes it, which is awesome. So they establish all these things really early with Brian Wilder. Um, the first appearance of her in the bat suit fighting was awesome. I really enjoyed that. But there's like I said, I walked into this with a universe already established, not knowing anything about it, so it was a little confusing for me. Things started to clear up a little more after the second episode, and I'm sure as I watch more, it'll become a lot more clear. But grade for it? Are we doing like just like we do superhero
Have you
discussions?
watched no episodes of Batwoman besides
No,
this? This is the
no.
first episode you've
That's what I'm
gotten.
saying. My only
Wow.
experience with her is in the crossover. So that's my only experience with her. Just like I said, I'd fallen off DCCW by the
I
time
know. I just don't
she.
know many people that, if they've fallen off, would come back and do see. It's very
Well,
interesting. Like
I
it's a
also
very
I
unique
also
perspective.
am on a
I
podcast
know.
where
I'm
I
just
kind of
saying a
have to,
very unique
but
perspective that you don't usually get, which is you haven't seen season one, so you don't have all this stuff that was built. So, what did you think about Bruce Wayne?
it was interesting. And whenever I first saw him, I was like, "Wow, Bruce Wayne's in this show," because, like I said, I've never seen it before. I immediately knew something was wrong with him. The second he didn't know how to get in the Batcave, I was like, "Oh, okay, something's wrong." But
Well, in the end of the season one finale, Alice takes Thomas Elliot and puts Bruce Wayne's face on him
okay,
to get the kryptonite that Kate Kane has. But
okay,
Kate Kane, Ruby Rose leaving show kind of defeats the whole purpose of having somebody dressed up as Bruce Wayne. And like who else is going to pick that off? I know Pennyworth Julia did it here, was the one that figured him out.
hmm,
But like if you don't have Kate Kane, having Bruce Wayne is meaningless in the whole grand scheme of things for Batwoman.
yeah,
So it sucks that the first time we get Bruce Wayne in DCCW is not actually Bruce Wayne. It just looks like Bruce Wayne.
hmm,
So that's a sucky thing. I've wanted him since season 2 of Arrow.
yeah.
So
You get a little bit of him in Titans. Alfred, Alfred Wayne.
the Batman comes out in 2022, and Zack Snyder's Justice League comes out in a couple months. That'll be my Batman.
I hear
Uh,
you. Okay, so a couple questions for you then. I know you going into this were really upset with you. We're not upset. You were worried about the way they were going to handle the transition.
I just thought it was absolutely. It didn't make. It still don't make any sense to me why they didn't just make Ryan Wilder like recast her as the actress as Kate Kane, because I love the actress
So you
sneaky fan.
still think they should do that,
Yeah.
even after
Oh
seeing the
yeah.
way you don't? So you don't
Yeah.
think they handled it really well?
You mean the random suit that's laid out on a coat hanger
Well,
that
okay, I
fell
get
off
that.
that.
That's
That's not
semantics.
that would
That's the
that no, it's not semantics. But when we
it
go into
is.
no, it's not because you got Titans there that you got producers on Batwoman that are producers on Titans, and you're going to tell me that you're going to have a biometric scan and fingerprints for every single Robin costume in one universe, but you can't you put this on a coat hanger in the jet while you're flying. Get out of town, Greg. That don't make any sense
Well,
to
you
any
got to
superhero.
make it's contrived to make the story. I mean, it's make the story work, man. But listen,
I would have
I
told.
don't mean the little details like that. I mean the way they
Well, yeah.
handled getting rid of Kate Kane, bringing in a new character, and still continuing the same story with the same characters. Because I know the biggest thing you worried about was the relationships built up and the characters built up. Well, they can still continue that, just not with Kate Kane now. But I think that they handled it really in one of the best ways they could have. I mean, me personally, I didn't watch season 1, so I can't really say
That's why
anything.
you
But
can't say that they handle it because you don't have all these relationships built up. You didn't get, oh my God, we're getting Bruce Wayne.
you're right.
Holy
You're
crap.
absolutely right.
And then he's gone within one episode. That's not the way it was laid out for us,
I got you.
the listeners of season 1. That's not
Yeah.
the way it was laid out. And that's
Okay.
why it's frustrating. Like you flush all that development you haven't watched. You flush all that down the drain when you throw in a new person. Now they're doing some good things. I'm not like I've enjoyed the episodes and I enjoyed the actress as like I said, I just think that she could have played Kate Kane, and we would have been none the wiser. You'd just been like, okay, that's fine. That's the way we're going with this.
Mm-hmm.
Whoop de doo. We have a person that walks around dressed up as the monitor, and the anti-monitor. So we, recasting somebody is not a big thing.
I hear
So
you.
it just frustrates me sometimes. Just some of the loose ends and the whole thing that's looming over this is where's Kate? Where's Kate? Where's Kate? So it's kind of taking up too much of the storyline, if you're asking me. Where I know Ruby Rose is coming back. That's why.
Well, I think that, like I said, I haven't seen season 1, but based on what you were saying, they end season 1 with that Tommy Elliott and the
And
being
the
Bruce Wayne
kryptonite
is a
stuff
huge
too,
thing.
which is meaningless as well.
And they do really get rid of that quickly in the first episode. Like that's it's done, it's over with, and he's back in.
He's
You know,
just Toddy, his
so
face
okay,
is smashed, and that's it.
and that's why with me not seeing season 1, you're right. I wouldn't feel that way. That's why I feel differently about it watching it for the first time, seeing this for the first time. I guess that's why I didn't have that attachment, or I wasn't anticipating that. I guess it'd be like if I didn't watch the Titan season 1 and then just started off with season 2, would have no idea what was going on, you know.
Yeah.
So makes sense. But
You guys
yeah,
go back
man.
and watch season 1 just to understand, especially when you see Bruce Wayne coming out and the kryptonite and all this stuff, and you're like, oh my God, there's so much. And then it's just like,
Gone. Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
so, and Jacob don't have as much meaning to me here, uh, really, without Kate, like for Batwoman. Like, I don't know, like his motivation against
Jacob.
the old man who runs the crows.
Okay.
Her
Gotcha.
Kate's father and
Okay, their
Mary's
father.
father
Okay,
and Alice's
gotcha.
father.
So they're all okay. Yeah, that's another thing I want to ask you. Well, like I said, well, I want to answer these questions, and then we'll go into we'll take a break and we'll
Episode
go
2.
into episode 2. Okay, so all 3 of them are sisters.
Yeah.
Alice and
Half
Kate
sisters.
and what's the other one's name?
Alice and Beth are
Beth.
full sisters, I think. And then Alice and Kate are half sisters with Mary.
Okay.
Mary is
Gotcha.
the lady doing the clinic.
Okay. Yes.
The one
Yeah.
basically part of Team Batwoman.
Okay. And Luke is Lucius's son.
Yes, Luke
Okay.
Fox.
And Julia is Alfred's daughter. Okay. And I'm trying to think, who is the cop that was her lover?
Sophie.
Okay. So, and she has no relations to anything else, just the character in the show that was okay with her. Okay. I think I got it. Yeah, I think I got it now. I think I can follow it. Because the whole time I was sitting there, I was like, I'm listening for names, and I was trying to get names down. So I don't think I got that's Beth. Yeah, Beth. I don't think I got her down until the very end.
Beth and Alice are the same person.
Maybe it's not. Okay, then Mary.
Mary.
Is that it? The third, the half sister. Okay, that's the one I didn't get to.
Alice used to be Beth before the accident happened.
Gotcha. And that's what made her go psycho.
Well, the stuff after was what made her go
Okay,
psycho. You're not even
gotcha.
getting. You need to go back and watch that
I do
first
need to go
season.
back and watch it. So I said this makes me want to go back
Do
and
the
watch
thing.
it. So
Do the one thing that I suggested. Like just pick out
cool.
one episode every week.
It'll take a long time to rewatch, but yeah, maybe. All right, well, let's take a real quick. That's all the questions I had, really.
Yeah.
And the other one's going to be: Is Bruce Wayne has Bruce Wayne been on the show before? But I guess that was
No.
the big thing at the end of last season.
Last
So
season, but
okay.
that's why it's so disappointing for him to basically be done so quickly
Mm.
because of that. But now we could get him returned. We could actually get the real, like this is Bruce Wayne now. So maybe one day Bruce Wayne will return in this universe and it'll be played by that guy. I hope
Yeah.
at one point he ends up on the Superman and Lois show.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, I
Oh
could
my
see him as
god,
Bruce Wayne.
be
So
badass. Oh, he got perfect jawline, perfect for it.
yeah, work. All right, man. Well, let's take our last break, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about the episode 2 that just came out. Just finished watching it, and it's good stuff. We'll be right back. All right, and we are back. So here we go. Episode 2, and I can't remember what the name of this one was. Like, if you accept me, I'll accept you, or something like
No,
that.
it was prior criminal history.
What? Oh, wait, that was the last episode of the last. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I'm all mixed up. Yes. What are your thoughts, man?
I
Started with my
enjoyed
one.
this episode. Like I said, the whole Kate thing is annoying me a little bit. Just with how much is taken up. And the other thing that really annoyed me that they showed it for a second at the start of her touching the spot where she got shot with kryptonite, but it wasn't talked about at all for the entire episode. So something that I wish would have been talked about. I assume it's what's going to bring her and Luke together, closer together, because
Mhm.
right now Luke's being a little bit of a stick in the mud, even though he made some terrible decisions, including letting anybody and everybody in the
Yeah,
bat cave.
just for the hell of it. Yeah.
And he's like, "You can't be Batman." I'm mad. So, like, hopefully he snaps out of that because if anyone remembers Flash, like, there's only so long you can make a character do that before the audience starts hating. And like, there was a point in time where I wish I could have went up behind Cisco in Flash and just gave him a
Yes. Oh my.
gigantic wedgie.
That might have been part of the reason why I left.
Season
Yeah.
three Flashpoint when he got so up my arms about everything.
Yeah.
I wish that I could have given him a wedgie. That's how much he annoyed me. He got to the point and then finally went back normal by the end of the crossover. But like, you don't need to teach somebody a lesson for 5 episodes or 6 episodes. You don't need to drag it out that line. Like that's just so frustrating.
Yeah. I enjoyed this one, man. Once again, this is only my second time watching it. You know, my wife came home right when I started the first one. I was like, hey, this is the first episode of a new series. If you want to sit down, not a new series to me, if you want to sit down and watch it. And she watched the first 2 episodes with me. Haven't gotten her thoughts yet though, but she didn't hate it. Otherwise, she wouldn't have. She would just stop watching it. But got some questions about it. Mouse, I'm assuming, is a character in the first season that I need to get
Yeah.
acquainted with.
Well, yeah, he's pointless now, but yeah, you do.
Yeah. Okay. And this is where I learned Julia's name. A lot of excuse me. I think there's a lot of things they tackled in this episode, or not tackled, but at least tried to portray that of stuff going on actively right now in the world. With riots, and there was one other thing they did, and I was like, oh yeah, that is just like kind of stuff going on. Oh, mass distribution of vaccines, stuff like that. And I was like, that's tapping into the I don't know, the bane of what's going on in the world right now. So it's pretty cool. But I don't know. I'm ready to see her drop the red hair because the picture I've seen is without the red hair, and I think it looks better without the red hair.
Oh, I know. I
To
think
be
it's
true,
a
though.
staple of the costume for Batwoman.
I think you're right, and I get that, but I just think it looks better in the situation. I mean, not that it looks bad with the red hair. I just think that at least the picture I saw, it looked better without it.
It helps hide the identity. That's the main reason for it, I think.
I get that.
But like I say, Greg, I really, really enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed the stuff about Batwoman saving Ryan Wilder a few months before, like she had this encounter. I really liked that. I thought that was a
Mm-hmm.
nice little touch.
Yep. And then I liked
Sorry, go.
no, I was just
No,
said
go.
that the going back and forth where I guess is it Sophie you said, and or not Sophie, I guess Mary is reading about Ryan Wilder, and Ryan Wilder's reading about Kate Kane.
Yeah, that's in the premiere.
Is that in the premiere?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I mean, I watched them back to back. I mean, the episodes mixed
Oh
up.
yeah,
But
that's easily that happened anyway. But one thing I didn't like, I was like, oh my god, are you kidding me? I thought we were going to be fully never having to deal with it again. Journals. Now she's journaling
oh yeah,
to Kate, who was journaling to Bruce. Like, are you kidding me? Like, just beat me over the head with one of those journals, please. Like, I can't take more of the journals.
is
I
that a
just
big
can't.
thing from the first season?
Yes, it is. She wrote
Okay.
journals all the time. It was rather annoying. It got more annoying as the season went on. It's just like when Batman gets back, do you think that's the first thing he's going, oh, let me read this journal? No, I don't think so.
I mean, it's always a good idea
Computer,
to document the illegal
computer,
things
tell
you're
me what
doing.
happened. Well, now
Yeah.
he has supercomputer in Batcave or anything.
Yeah.
It just felt stupid to me, that did. But basically, Jacob and Sophie, I really enjoyed them interrogating Mary and Luke and their connections into Kate after finding out she was Batwoman.
Yeah. And Luke drops that kind of assholeish line of too bad someone that loved her wasn't there watching her back.
Well,
I was
that's
like,
you
ooh.
didn't see the end where at the end of last season where he double crossed his own daughter as Batwoman, and
So was that when he was shooting at his
yeah,
daughter?
that happened. That
That
happened in the season one finale.
okay, so that's an actual scene.
Yeah.
So okay. Oh, I got a question about the suit in this. So that's Bruce's suit. So what is it like? They describe it as a super suit.
They changed the suit around to fit a woman.
Okay, so it's not like you just put it on and it fits you automatically
No,
type
no,
deal. Okay,
no.
gotcha. So that makes sense. So I liked how I loved her explanation. Well, actually, this is in the first episode too, but the explanation of why she wanted to be Batwoman when she first was talking to Luke and Mary about that. But I like her explanation to the person when she's trying to get the job, security job too, and telling them what's going on. And I don't know, this character just works for me. I'm really enjoying the actress who's playing her. She's doing a great job.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I think she's great, but as I said, like some of the stuff, it's a little bit harder for me to get into. I did really like how they used the bats to spread the disease,
mhm.
but it sucked. It's so tough because you didn't get to see that where Mary and her mother basically have to choose between one dose, and you get that in the first season, which makes what Mary says at the end when Luke is like no, you're gonna kill her, and she's like, I don't really care to be honest with you. Like she kind of done a lot of crap, and maybe
Yeah.
she wouldn't have did that if Kate would have took her out earlier, which is the
Well,
mentality some people take when they talk about this sort of thing.
oh, and they explained that to her. I think whenever she was in the car with Julia, and she had the knife to her throat, and she was like, you're desperate because Kate was the only one who had any
Uh,
kind of sympathy for you left
we had
for you.
somebody in the chat too, Alexander Babbage. Did you read Doomsday Clock, Greg? I don't think you did.
No, I've read most of it.
Okay, I've read it
I
all, and I actually enjoyed pretty much like a nice bit of it. I thought it was the delays hurt the book a lot, but
that's what stopped me from reading it. I think was so much of the delays.
yeah, like it's nowhere near my top of my recommend the books or anything. I don't hate it. I just is insignificant to me, I guess. It was good for like it didn't leave any lasting imprint. Alexander, I don't know if that helps at all or that answers your question. But back to Batwoman now, yeah. The little detour there, Greg.
He's asking if anyone hates Doomsday Clock. He says it's trash.
Oh, and now I'm a disgrace to comics for liking Doomsday Clock.
Hey, nothing wrong with
It's
that.
just I just
I,
Alexander, my mentality is let people like what they like, and you don't need to like what I like. I don't need to like what you like, and if there's stuff that we both like, we can have a chat about that.
yeah,
I think that's perfectly
if you
fine.
don't like it, you ain't got to read it.
Yeah,
But
we can talk about the Watchmen comic all day and all night if you want to do that.
let's see what else. I had a bunch of notes about this one. Oh yeah, the writing for Batwoman.
Yeah.
So she's a huge symbol in this city. I'm assuming what's going on. People and did people not see that video that they showed of him shooting her until this episode? Was that the first time the public saw it? I'm
Yes.
assuming
Yeah.
that's what started the rioting. Which, by the way, when the rioting happens and the bats come, how awesome or not awesome, but how smart is that guy shooting the shotgun just in the air at the bats, just shooting in the air? Hey,
That would be Jacob there,
yeah,
Greg. That would be the head of the crows.
yeah. Hey, for anybody who wants to know, when you shoot something in the air, it has to come down somewhere. Okay, so it's just not safe to shoot stuff just in the air. Okay, it has to come down somewhere. Um, yeah. Throughout all this, like I said, I don't know anything about Alice beforehand, but she is a psycho from what I
Oh my
see,
God,
from
it's nowhere
taping the rat to
near
the
you're not even like she was the best thing about season one.
really.
Oh
Okay.
my God, she was fantastic. It was
Okay.
amazing.
I got you. Yeah, and I think the other thing about this one was that they definitely stressed on or Luke especially stressed on the no kill rule.
Yes,
Like
I also
that's his
really
thing.
liked how Ryan gets rid of the bats by putting them in that bus. I thought that was smart, thinking on her feet, uh, which I like. But like I said, I hope Luke can get the stick at it. Like, just stop being contrary about this and get on board, or start building yourself the Batwing. Easily build yourself a suit. If
Yeah.
you don't like what's going on here, like join in.
Yeah. I have a question. And this goes back to the first episode because I think we're close to wrapping some of this up. Oh, a couple questions actually. Whenever the Tommy Elliott as Bruce Wayne is in the Batcave and he's got the sticky gun, um, the sticky bomb gun, whatever, and he's looking for the Batmobile or the
Yeah,
Batwoman mobile, he
Batmobile.
he gets away with it, and then Luke comes in. And he's like, "We didn't even know this was here. Did they not know that was there? That was there?"
He didn't. Bruce did.
So Bruce did. So does that mean that Kate Kane never? That's the first appearance of this
Yeah.
in it at all? Okay,
Yep.
wow, huh? So we've never seen the Batmobile in the show. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, definitely got to watch the first season. And then last question I have for you, Sophia,
Yeah.
uh, introduced last season. I'm assuming a big
Nope.
bad.
I
No.
wouldn't be able to tell you if she stabbed me in the face right now. I wouldn't be able to tell you who that is or what that
Okay.
has to do with
Okay. So
anything.
it's a new character.
Yeah.
Or new villain. Okay, kind of. I don't know why it reminds me of Cicada, which is the reason that was when I started to fall off of Flash. But we'll see what happens. It's probably just name and somebody I
Yeah.
have no idea anything about. It's
Well, we
probably why
haven't
it
seen
reminds
her
me of that.
yet, so I don't know how she can remind you
Well,
of.
that's what I'm saying. Just the first thing I think of in my mind is that it's got to be just a name association. So, I'm going to give it a chance, of course. And then what? So is that to mean that Tatiana girl at the very end? You've seen her before? Because Tatiana was the one who was the representative for Sophia that was
I
talking
think
to
I have
Alice at
seen
the
her.
end.
It's like, I'm trying to think now.
She's the one who knocks
I think
her
it was in
and
season one. I'm trying to remember what episode it was. Now. Just give
Sophia
me a.
out.
Oh my, what was that? Oh, mm,
I'm
I
not sure.
think that no. I think she might have just. This is the first time she showed up. I'm pretty sure. I
Well,
thought
the
we might
only
have
reason,
seen her before.
only reason I asked is because the Sophie girl knew her name. Otherwise, yeah, I wouldn't have known her name was Tatiana if she didn't say it.
It
Wait,
wasn't just
I had
her.
subtitles on. Maybe
It was Alice who said it.
okay, Alice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess it's plausible that Alice would know her, and we didn't know about
Oh
this
yeah.
prior. So yeah. But yeah, man. Overall, I'm enjoying this show. It's making me want to get back into the DCCW. This, and especially with Lois and Clark coming out. Or
Superman and Lois.
Superman and Lois and Clark. And I'm gonna hop back onto Flash and see if I see what I've missed. Hopefully it's better than what I left it with because I really love the Flash the first couple seasons. Um, and that's about it. I guess we got what else I do Legends and we're in our last episode of Supergirl and Black Lightning. So
Last season, yeah. Not damn out.
but there's also going to be the what's the
Stargirl season 2.
what's the spinoff coming off Black Lightning?
Painkiller.
Painkiller.
Yeah.
So should be good.
Yeah, like I said, I kind of would like to see the whole season before I give out. I'll give it a solid 7.5, I guess, or solid 7 to 7.5 for this episode. Nothing too spectacular, but got some good emotional moments from characters. But Kate Kane still hangs over this season.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to give them both an 8 just because I have no prior knowledge to the last seasons, but watching these first 2 episodes makes me want to watch the next one, which is what you want a show like this. It was a little better than average. I really enjoyed the actress who plays Ryan Wilder, and I'm excited to see how the story goes. So hopefully it's not going to pull the Titans.
I don't know. I'm really interested if there's anybody else that has not watched the first season and just start watching the second. That's so cool. And Javika Leslie is the woman who plays Ryan Wilder. And Greg, I really enjoy her too. I just don't enjoy the Kate Kane stuff and a couple other things, like little nitpicky things. But there's nothing like here that I don't like that will make me stop watching. So I'm excited to see more going forward and see how they're going to handle this in general.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, we're going to continue coverage of that every week until it's done. How many episodes of season one?
Season one
Or
was
excuse me,
20
season two.
episodes.
Season
I don't
two.
know how long season two is
We don't
right
know how long
now.
season two is. Okay, so we don't know if it's going to do the DCCW treatment, the 23 episode special. We'll see. Either way, we're here to watch it.
Yeah, man. I know that
Good so far.
Superman Lois is not going to be the whole 23 standard thing, so who knows about that. And just one other thing, people, David Ramsey is in Vancouver now doing the quarantine for before he directs his episodes of, I want to say, maybe every DC CW show. I assume they're going
He's
to
doing
get
5,
him
right?
to, yeah, but I assume they're going to get him to do all those 5 in succession because of the quarantining for 2 weeks thing that
Makes
you have to
sense.
do coming here. So that kind of makes sense for me.
Do you think they're that far ahead? Well, we also don't know when his 5
Yeah, we don't know.
episodes
He
could
could
be
be
in the
doing episode
season.
3. We don't
Yeah,
know.
that's true. So, okay, cool. Well, all right, man. I think that
That's
about
it.
wraps everything up. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool deal. Well, where can they find you at, buddy?
You can follow me on Twitter at Travis_156. You can drop me a line. We can chat about DC anytime. I also do a podcast, Superhero Discussion, with Greg on Fridays. Like you said before, we're covering Batman the Animated Series right now, and with the news of a potential revival, that couldn't be more exciting. Please come and join us there. We'd love it. Like I said, the listeners have gone up a bit since we covered Batman, and just hope we can keep you on after we're done with the Bat.
Did we even talk about that? We talked about that on superhero discussions.
Yes, we did.
We didn't talk about that on here. That's what I
No,
was wondering.
we
I was
talked
like, I
about
know
it.
I've talked with you about that, but it
Yes,
wasn't
we
on
talked
here.
about
Okay,
superhero
good deal.
discussions.
Okay, good deal. Go check that one out. Yeah. All right, and you can find me at the Bat Lady 52 on Twitter. It's my personal handle. Hit me up. Talk about just about anything. Hit me or Travis up on DC Alliance podcast handle. I'm with on him with all these shows. Super Civil Servants on Fridays. See-Through Panthers podcast on Tuesdays. All over the place, but you can check out the Geek Ultimate Alliance Network for all your geek needs. We cover just about everything you need every day of the week. So come check us out. Fans, thank you so much for everybody who participated in the chat. Thank you for everybody who listens. And until next week,
Later, everyone.
found him.